Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, family. I just want to say thank you to all those who assisted my sister and my friend, my business partner, Anja Afreeca, during her final days, all the way up to her final days. Those who took the time out to come and pray over her, sit with her, touch her, feed her, clean her, bathe her, took financial assistance and sent money to make things comfortable for her. I just want to thank you all for all that you did. I just ask that we all send prayers over her family and that she is swaddled like a baby in the graves until the day of judgment. This is very hard, but this video, I'm just going to share some moments, some great moments that I had with my sister, and I'm so grateful for, and to share some of the knowledge and gifts that she bestowed upon us, because she was a really fantastic individual, and I'm so glad she was my friend. This was my first time meeting Anja in person. She invited me to her house because she knew I was stressed in America. She fed me, she gave me a comfortable bed to sleep in. We did some vlogging. We just had a great time. She is hospitable and loving. This is my sister in Anja Afreeca. I started doing these live streams called Sisterhood series, and Anja was a regular on my platform and shared a lot of knowledge. All right, Sister Anja Afreeca, thank you so much, Ashe. Uh, what you want to brag about? You have a lot to brag about. I
You
want you to
know,
be. I want you to be braggalicious, okay? I want you. I want you to go to town. All right. I need you to go to town right
oh
now.
boy. Well, let me just say, African millennial. I just love hearing that young sister speak. I always enjoy hearing her talk, and I think that's such a beautiful thing, that she can help her relatives get their education without worrying about the strains of how they're going to pay for it. Those are things we take for granted in the West, having public schools.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it is so funny, that you brought that you all always have a topic that makes me go, wow, like I really didn't think about that. And when his sister was talking before, she's correct. We are taught not to brag about ourselves because that's considered conceited or wrong in some way. Um, One of the things that has come to me since I've been planning this transition to the continent is that when I'm in the West, I don't like talking about my credentials because people act like their credentials make them a better person, right? And so I would always get annoyed by people who talked about how many letters they had behind their name and who they were associated with. Because my thing is, what's your moral character? What's your moral fiber? Do you have any integrity? So I didn't choose to share who I was with them, but all that meant was that I was dimming my light, right? So now I'm here on a continent, and when I don't pull out my resume literally, but when I talk to them about the things that I want to do and what I have done and what I'm trained in, I realized that it was all for this, you know? So I'm saying that to say, um, when I went to law school and I graduated and I practiced law briefly and I hated it. I literally hated it in the West because one of the first jobs I had was representing juveniles that were being tried as adults. And it was just heart wrenching for me. I now realize that I'm an empath and that there are certain jobs I cannot do because of my emotional attachment to our people. You know, when I see injustice, I'll be the one sitting behind bars because I will go at the judge's throat. I'll go at the prosecutors. You know, it's just not a good place for me to be in. So I have to find how I can assist from another way. But yes, I went to law school. I have a bachelor's degree. I have a doctorate degree. I was outpatient therapist. I managed group homes and homeless shelters. I was a fitness instructor. I modeled. I trained in African dance and drumming. It's just so much. My experience in social services goes from, like, I used to process adoptions under Judge Judy. You know, for those who know the TV personality, like that's how long ago that has been. You know, I was a case worker, case manager, advocate. And just on my own thing, for my own personal love of things, I owned an art gallery. I paint. I'm a poet. I can lay tile and paint, you know, walls. I flip homes. I'm certified in mobile home investing. I mean, the list is endless. It really is. I cook, I bake, like I do all these things. And it's funny because my son's been telling me for the longest to start a YouTube channel because of all of these different talents, you know, but I grew up believing that I had to focus on one thing, and that, you know, you can't master anything if you're a jack of many trades, you know. But what happened to our greatness as a people? We are just multi-talented, and we can excel in all the things that we want to excel in, you know. So coming to the continent, I'm like, there's a reason why I have this resume. There's a reason why I have this education, because I'm going to bring it to the continent and utilize all these skills to get all these young people started in these fields. I think the very last thing that I realized before we made this trip, I was on the computer one day and I was like, you know, I was always made to feel like I was trying to tell people what to do, but I wasn't telling them what to do. I have a gift of people telling me they have a problem, and I am able to immediately come up with resources to say, hey, listen, have you tried this? Did you call this person? Did you do that? You know, it just comes to me like that. And that's it, you know, that's it. That's all in a nutshell.
I say, and like we say in the group,
I'm telling you,
look at us.
the family is loving hearing all these wonderful things about you ladies. Do you want to go next, Aisha Kiva?
Well, I just want to say before I go is look at us, right? Like, I never forget I first heard
Look
that
at
from
us.
look at us. She's a
Look at
reflection of us, right? Like, and so I think if we start to look at each other that way, we'll be even more just loving when people talk about their celebrations and what they've accomplished, instead of looking at it as competition, or look, you know, just like look at us. Like,
Yes.
and I remember
Anja was such a creative person. She came to me with the idea of waste not, want not. And I was like, yes, I'm down. And the next thing we know, we're starting this store in the Gambia. We became business partner, and we started planning our future together in the Gambia.
Well, so when they burn, you can let me know if you really smell them.
Okay, there was a video that I did recently at a place called Natty Live.
For the whole piece, the top and the bottom. But people have been purchasing them and using them as uniforms for their company. They print printing on the back.
That's what.
Yeah, I have a few.
Thank you.
That looks familiar.
But we still have to hold.
It's recording now.
Okay. How you doing, Godfather, brother, Uncle Donnie? I've been waiting for you to get over here. Been waiting for you to get over here to the Gambia.
We
So
are.
hey, right here.
We are
Black History. Show up and stop playing.
Yes, Donnie. We're ready for you. We're ready for you over here in the Gambia.
Love to you and the family.
Shout out to you, brother. You inspire me.
Yes, I. Anyone that knew Andrea knew she was all about positivity. She was constantly reminding me, like, girl, don't go low like those people. Stay, they're low vibration. We high vibrating people. And I was like, you're right, sis. And she is a constant reminder to me of being positive. And when we got together, we always had a good time. We would get dressed because she loved fashion. We would get some good drinks. She loved her vegan drink, and have some good food. And we would have some good vegan food. We always had a great time together. Listening to the group?
It's a cultural group. I don't know the name. I don't remember the name.
Well, you'll learn. We'll share the name a little bit later on. But
to see them in action.
So right now we're drinking. What are we drinking?
Virgin mojitos.
Virgin mojitos.
And they are delicious with the fresh mint from the Gambia.
Yeah, we had tested them before. They're really good.
We just glistening in the sun for no reason at all. Just bronzed over.
I'm not quite there, but I'm getting there.
You there. You stand it up.
Yeah, pass it forward. That's what it's here for. Pass it forward. All right, Sister Anja Afreeca, your thoughts?
It was beautiful. I actually wrote in the chat, in the private chat when you were speaking, that it was just beautiful because I don't know. I feel like this is how I live my life, and I've been this way from a kid. Like, I grew up in a house full of boys, but I always wanted to celebrate sisterhood. And I always felt like when I saw other sisters doing well, I wasn't jealous. I felt like it was an extension of me. Like, oh, that sister's great. She's accomplishing things. What can I do to be like her? Or what can I do to assist that process? So I never understood the cattiness between women because I was always looking for having that in my life, So just hearing that was just like, I'm like, this is how I'm living my life. And, I've always been that person. I would look at, there could be a family with a bunch of children. Let's say they had a bunch of daughters, right? And there's that one child that might be considered plain or not as bright. She would be the one that I would give the compliments to. I would find something about her to say, you are so pretty. I love your complexion. I love your hair. That's the coolest pair of shoes. And you just see these little kids light up when you give them compliments like that, when you take notice of them. And people don't think to do that. They immediately look for what people think is attractive. And what's attractive is not the physical.
Right.
It's what's internal and the spirit. And so I like to focus on that with our young people as well as our elders. I still give my elders compliments like, you weren't just beautiful back in the day. You're beautiful now. I see it in your eyes. You used to knock them out, and they love that. People act like because you get older that you lose your beauty. I hate when I hear people say things like old heads and old people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, first of all, how disrespectful. It's disrespectful. It really is, because know that you are standing on other people's shoulders to be where you are. So just like I learned from my elders, I learned from the young people as well, because they can offer fresh perspectives on things for you to really be like, wow, I didn't think of it that way. Or for you to realize how times change, but the games don't. Only the players do. So
right.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're getting into, you see, we do some serious work in our sisters group. It's
Yeah.
I love you.